All right. Here we go. Hopefully the mic's working. I don't know. Welcome to Unit 2. If you're seeing this, you have survived. Congratulations. Yeah. You made it through Unit 1. Now we get to the fun stuff, all right? Unit 1 has been about the Revolutionary War, country coming to existence. What is this United States, this grand experiment? And how many times can we get in a fight with Great Britain, right? Right. So, knowing that, now we're moving into like the meat and potatoes of the United States government. Like, this is it. This is the good stuff. So this entire unit is about the foundation, the construction, the development of basically the rules of the United States. Like, how do we function as a government? Not current day politics. I mean, the actual government structure. Where did it come from? How did we come up with a president and Congress and a Supreme Court? Where does all that come from? This Constitution, this rule book that we have, did we just poof make it out of thin air? I don't know. Okay, we're going to explore all of that. Today, though, we're going to start with something that you're already familiar with. I refer to it as a breakup letter. In turn, you go, oh yeah, that easy assignment. Right, the Declaration of Independence. So we're going to take a closer look at that and the importance behind it. So when we look at the Declaration of Independence, really it's broken into three main areas. Those main areas are the preamble, which is the very beginning. That's the first paragraph. It's the piece that's saying, like, we believe that all men are created equal, et cetera, that we've already talked about. That's piece number one. Piece number two is saying to the King of England and taking it to England, saying, we're kind of done with you. This isn't working. And because it's not working, we believe we have this inalienable or this given right to break away from you. That's piece two. Piece number three is about this long. And it's a, by the way, BT dubs, here's all the stuff you did wrong when trying to govern us. And it's a whole laundry list of problems. All right. That's the Declaration of Independence. It's actually pretty short in comparative, like in scope. It's not really that big of a document. So the reason though that it's important is, one, it does not establish a new government in the United States. The Declaration of Independence is not our government. It's not our form. It's a document. It's a document that people put together that said, we are willing to risk it all to break away from you because this is more important to us. Okay. It was more of a, almost like a manifesto or a, we're doing this because we believe this. We're doing this because you didn't provide this. That's the Declaration in a nutshell. So it's not really long, but the words in it are very powerful because we start exploring things like, if the government doesn't do what it says it's going to do, the people, citizens, have a right to overthrow or have a right to revolt. It's not just a, oh, don't you rebel, that's a bad thing. Instead, it's, we're given this opportunity and you screwed it up, so we're going to fight back. It's giving that permission of rebellion, which innately, you and I, we all want that. We have that internal desire to rebel, whether it be against our parents, our staff members, my boss. The reality is we all want to rebel against something. And the Declaration of Independence really sums that up nicely in saying, here's why we're rebelling against you, because you failed to take care of us like you said you were going to. All right. So that's really the Declaration as a whole. Now, the question that a lot of people ask today, when we look at the Declaration of Independence and everything that it offers from 1776, in the year 2020 in the United States, is it still as impactful today to us as it was back then? And that's something that historians and social scientists and political scientists, they wrestle with that a lot, to say that the Declaration of Independence, it says that all men are created equal. It says that all men should be free. It says all these things about what we believe as humans and as Americans, but does it really have the same impact in 2020 as it would back then? We know as historians that when it says all men were created equal in the Declaration in the 1700s, it meant if you were a dude who was white and owned property. Really, honestly, you might even throw the Anglo-Saxon piece into it also. Like, that considered you to be men, all right? So that also meant that it wasn't just individuals who were in slavery at the time that weren't considered people. It also included people of color. It included indigenous people. It included women. All these different groups of individuals were all ostracized or removed, basically, from the Declaration of Independence when it talks about freedom. Now, in 2020, the hope is, in theory, we've expanded what that interpretation means to include literally all people, though not everybody agrees on that. So your objective looking at this document again, and you'll see it one more time too. When you're looking at this document this time around, I want you to take a look at the articles that are given in your research tab, and they talk about the importance, if there is importance, to the Declaration of Independence today in 2020. Then you're going to discuss it in the task on whether or not you think, based on the information and your own thoughts, on whether or not the Declaration of Independence still has the same impact today as it did in 1776. I'll be interested to see your interpretation of it. My personal thought? Trick question. I'm not answering that, and you know that. All right? Let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to subscribe so you can see more weird stuff with me in front of a camera during my office hours because I have way too much free time right now. All right? Check you guys later. Peace out.